So it's the 1300 turn here at Ligny Quatre. We'll see a whole lot of reinforcements arriving, probably a lot of maneuver, but we might see a little bit of skirmishing. Let's remind ourselves where our forces stand right now. Starting with the command phase, these little charts show us that the French currently can muster 5 command points between the two fields, while the Allies can muster 5 between their two fields, one for the British Army of the Low Countries, and the other 4 for the Prussian Army of the Lower Rhine. Next we trace command, and I'll only look at the units that are out of command. So all of the 4th Brigade units in Ligny are out of command in a very similar fashion. Virtually all of the 3rd and 1st Brigade units in the towns are out of command. So many that I ran out of markers and had to use these little X's. But for the most part, everyone else on the Ligny field is in command. The French are all set up in command, and most of the Prussians, including this long column that is marching in, are effectively in command. There are just a couple British units, use that as a catch-all term, out of command. We have that Dutch unit here in the farm. We have 2 of the Nassau battalions that are technically out of command because they're not within range of their leader. Well, this one would be because he's stacked with the Prince of Orange there. But the entire French force is in command. I can't quite decide what to do about the draw cup. Effectively, we have 3 command points over on the Quatre field, and then 7 on the Ligny field. Do I throw them all into one cup and draw en masse? Or does that skew the initiative? Here on Quatre, if I play 2 cups, the French have a bit of an advantage in the initiative, whereas on Ligny, the Prussians do. I don't know which is better. If there's some rule that tells me what I should do, I've missed it. But I think I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to play one way, see how it goes. If I don't like it, I'll switch to the other. So I'm going to start by throwing everything into one draw cup. So there's my full electronic draw cup. See, I was not prepared for such an eventuality of that many chits. So they're sort of running off the bottom there. I'll have to make my cup fatter in some upcoming release. But that'll be 1 cup, and now I'm going to go ahead and assign all my maneuver units. We'll start with the French. I was careless in my setup. You can see Exelmans right here, and the Marshal Grouchy in command of the reserve cavalry is right behind him, so they weren't stacked and therefore couldn't activate, and that was stupid, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave them there. They'll block my reinforcements, but no big loss. So I will spend 3 of my command points here on the 3rd Corps infantry divisions. I can't, I should put that in the wrong place. I can't maneuver as a corps because they're not activated. So one of the first things I'll do is try to move Napoleon over to activate Vendôme and get them moving as one large formation and therefore only 1 command point. For the Prussians, I opted to spend 1 point here just to keep these guys able to maneuver in case they get into any trouble. I'm largely going to be trying to work a defense here, so I'm not going to need a whole lot of maneuver out of the rest of the forces. This long line of approaching men, do they constitute reinforcements? Is this at a place where the administrative march would work? I'm not sure. I'm going to have a little trouble with that one because I'm not used to it. But since I don't have any pressing need to maneuver at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and spend a couple of command points to get the rest of the 2nd Corps brigades into position into this reserve spot behind Ligny. And I'll just spend the points this first turn because I don't have anything better to do with them. Here at Quatre, it'll be a repeat of last turn. We'll spend a point on the 2nd Light Cavalry up here. See if they can expose any more of those obscured units. And we'll spend a point on the 2nd Corps, which is activated with Marshal Ney there in proximity. So they'll be able to move as one large unit. And then our one British command point we'll use. And I think we'll have the Prince of Orange move up, and we'll take that 2nd Nassau battalion with us. Probably will move his ADC over to one of these others and move them up next turn. With our command established and our maneuver units chosen, our cup overflowing, let's draw our first chit. It's the French. So, what to do? All French on both fields, or just one? I think I'm going to do all French on one field. On both fields. I have one cup. That means all French. We'll start here on the Quatre field. And now over here at Ligny, we'll start with the 3rd Corps. The 5th Edition moves up on the west side of the road, while the 9th Division moved up on the east. Reille moved up to join his forces, keep everyone in command. Meanwhile, the chasseurs in skirmish order revealed those units and then formed column on the edges. Let's pull the next chit. So that's the Allies. So we'll pull the maneuver units for both fields, the Prussians and the British, at the same time. Second Nassau moves up with the Prince of Orange, while the 2nd Corps continues its movement along the road. Plenty of maneuver, but no contact, so no fires yet. And pay no attention to that British chit in the cup. That's actually already been moved. So now we just have our action chits remaining. We'll see. Basically, we're only interested here in reinforcements and leaders, I think. I don't think we're going to have anybody regroup at this point. So there's the artillery chit. Don't have any artillery fires. And that British chit, we're not going to worry about that. Regroup. Don't care about that. There's the reinforcements. Now we have a mass of reinforcements coming this turn. For the French, we have the 4th Corps and the Guard arriving. And for the Prussians, we have the 11th Brigade. So we'll just move the Prussians first. Prussian 11th Brigade arrives on the east, while the French Guard arrives east of the town, while the 4th Corps arrives on the west side. And of course our last chit can only be leaders, so largely we're going to be looking to try to put people in command or activate them or something. We want to keep the 2nd Corps in command activated, so we're going to move the Marshal up to stack with him, well within their movement potential. I haven't been keeping track of who's moved with my little X counters that I usually do, but I know this ADC can jump one spot right over to here. Basically we'll be looking to use him as a maneuver unit next turn. The giant command staff stack here. We're going to move Blucher over to the 1st Corps to get them activated. Everybody else will just leave them there for now. Wellington, we're going to move him and his mass of men back towards the Ligny field. Now, we're going to move as fast as the slowest man here, which is 8 movement points. So that gets him right here. Here we want to jump 1 hex with the Marshal and look to activate Exelman's next turn. We're going to move Napoleon so as to activate the 3rd Corps. So he can move as far as that. Over here, slightly exposed. And then we have Von Damme sitting right here. We're going to move him to join Napoleon. I think we can get him there. So now that 3rd Corps can become activated next turn. I think that's about all the leader movement I want to undertake. I'm not going to use kedging unless absolutely crazy necessary. With the draw cup empty, we're effectively done with most of our turn. We would just move to our turn adjustment. It is a morale level top of the hour, but we have nothing to do here. I think I should have done that at the beginning of the turn, but anyway, we'll do that on the top of every hour. But otherwise, I think our 1300 1 p.m. turn is now complete. Now, the purpose of this was just to demonstrate the single draw cup and some of the movement. There are far too many turns in this game to document every single one in its entirety. So I'll probably do maybe every third, do some combat when that arises, and just try to keep summary updates of the flow as we go.